Now that we're assured that the resurrection is true, our foundation is firm, our forgiveness is real, our future is secured, do we just go out the door and live life like everybody else lives life? Just go through each day, enjoying each day for what we can, enjoying the material pleasures and comforts of our homes, looking forward to a nice, comfortable, easy retirement? Is that it? Is that it for the children of God who've been raised from the dead spiritually and awaiting resurrection of their bodies? Is that it? Is that the kind of life that resurrection hope offers? That's the question I'm asking. I walked past a driveway not long ago and saw two old rusted out heaps sitting up there with their tires flat going nowhere. Is that the Christian life for those who have resurrection hope? Or does resurrection hope motivate us to something more than that? I suggest to you this morning that it does. It does. Because we're going to go now, we're going to cheat, and we're going to fly through some verses, and we're not even going to read them. We're going to the end of the chapter, and we're looking at one verse. And this is where it's heading. And we're going to get to this verse every single week that we're in this resurrection chapter. And I want you to look at verse 58 with me and feast your eyes upon these words. Because this is what it's about. Therefore, based on all of this wonderful hope, this knowledge, therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, he says, because God's plans for our future are clear and secure, and because we will be raised with Christ, we are to be immovable in our faith, because it's rooted and grounded in the gospel. We're to be immovable. But here comes the next part, the best part of all. Always, look at this, abounding in the work of the Lord. Do you see that? Always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain. And this is our calling. This is the gospel calling for us, folks, while we're here on this world, while we're alive and while we're breathing. And this is not just for pastors or missionaries or other, I don't know, people who are excited about God and ready to go out and serve Him on a mission field somewhere. This is the ultimate incentive to live a life of risk-taking, radical, sacrificial love for Christ and for others. If the resurrection is ruled out, okay, everything we do for the Lord is in vain. Paul pointed that out, okay? And we are of all people to be most pitied. But if the resurrection is true and it is certain, then the whole of the Christian life has purpose, because everything you do for the Lord has an eternal outcome. That's the point. That's the point. And so the whole point is, don't waste your life. Don't waste it, because here we have the opportunity to live for something that really, really matters. You know, I say people in this world, in this earth, they do things that matters, and I go, good on them for not sitting around and doing something, climbing mountains and whatever they do, getting trophies, but it's all temporal. We have the opportunity to labor for something that's eternal, that has eternal reward, eternal consequence. And the outcome, you see, this is the good thing. This is what can make our work in the Lord so joyful, is that all of our labor and all of our sacrifice and all of our prayers and all of our suffering that we do for Christ and our witnessing and the writing letters to persecuted Christians over in whatever land, or working to maintain the church building, or serving in the creche, that has an eternal outcome. You parents who serve and sacrifice for your kids to raise them in a godly way, it has an eternal outcome because of the resurrection.